has Aubameyang exposed the Arsenal dressing room? Having drawn against Crystal Palace 2-2 and put in a pretty bang average performance, the Arsenal players and manager are under massive pressure. So what today has captain Pierre Emerick Aubameyang said about the Arsenal dressing room? Also, could Arsenal be in for Real Madrid striker Luka Jovic? And also, what is going on with the future of Mikel Arteta? Let's find out in the latest Arsenal news today. Yo, what's going on guys? My name is Paulsen and welcome back to your boys channel. As per, make sure to go down there and show some love by smashing a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. But let's get into the Arsenal news today, and let's start off with Aubameyang's quotes after the Crystal Palace game. As you guys must be aware by now, the 2-2 draw versus Paddy V's Crystal Palace, for me, a pretty bang average and pathetic performance, to be honest. But after the game, a lot of the fans are looking to someone to blame. Is it the players? Is it the manager? And to be honest, a lot of social media is blaming Mikel Arteta and his tactics and the way he set up the Arsenal side. But what exactly has the Arsenal captain, Mr. Pierre Emerick Aubameyang, who scored the first goal, said after the game? Well, on his official Instagram, Aubameyang has said, not enough for a home game. We stopped playing after the first goal, but we didn't give up and fought till the end. Big help from the guys that came in. Well done to Lacazette, my bro. We go again, come on you Gunners. Now, the main quote there is the whole "we stopped playing after the first goal." What are you saying to me, Pierre? For me, what Aubameyang is doing here, he is taking responsibilities from the Arsenal manager, and the Arsenal players are saying it was down to us and we almost stopped playing after we scored the first goal and we became very complacent. And what he's trying to do is almost take away the blame for the Arsenal manager, Mikel Arteta, trying to imply the Arsenal tactics were spot on, but more the players and the desire and the commitment simply wasn't there after Arsenal scored their goal. And so while I can completely understand the Arsenal captain trying to take the blame and take responsibility, at the same time is he also not kind of exposing the Arsenal dressing room and the characters within that? The fact that Arsenal go 1-0 up and stop playing, I mean, what team does that, especially a team that aspires to be in the UEFA Champions League? Well, that is not the mentality that Arsenal should have with players that paid massive money at a so-called massive club. But also the fact that he is taking responsibility and trying to help out his Arsenal manager, for me it once again confirms that Mikel Arteta still has the backing of the Arsenal dressing room. And so to the fans that want Mikel Arteta out and are asking, is it time to go? The fact that Arteta has not lost the Arsenal dressing room as it stands, Mikel Arteta is going nowhere. But what did you guys make of the Aubameyang statement after the game? And do you guys agree with the points that Aubameyang is trying to make? But while we're discussing Aubameyang, in terms of his current form, the guy is simply on fire. He has got 7 goals and assists in his last 7 starts for Arsenal now. And overall, he's playing with a smile and showing Arsenal fans work rate that Arsenal fans simply have not seen from this player in a very long time. Also, his performances, it looks like Aubameyang is finally taking the responsibility of an Arsenal captain. So in terms of Pierre, my guy, my captain, keep doing it and long may it continue. In terms of what Mikel Arteta said after the game on what went wrong for Arsenal, he says, my perception is we got something and we wanted to protect it, something instead of going for the second one. This is completely echoing what Aubameyang has just said, and it once again kind of confirms there is some sort of dressing room harmony and understanding from the players and the manager side of it. But in terms of Mikel Arteta's overall tactics, for me, they are simply more than questionable. First things first, as you guys can see, here is the Crystal Palace versus Arsenal field tilt, and essentially it shows the amount of touches in the final third. And as you guys can see, Arsenal started the game off very strong, but towards the end of the first half, Crystal Palace took over the game completely. But in the second half, even though Palace scored 2 goals, Arsenal were far more improved when it came to keeping the ball in the final third and controlling the attacking phase. Now, I need to make it clear, by no means was it perfect, but there was a certain change that Mikel Arteta made at halftime that kind of helped Arsenal to gain more control in this game. And this is shown by the Arsenal passing networks by half. In the first half, as you can see, Thomas Partey in the middle, very isolated on his own. But in the second half, alongside Sambi Lokonga and Odegaard also dropping off, Thomas Partey had a lot more support. In terms of overall control, once again it showed the 4-3-3 as it stands, Arsenal players are simply not ready for it. And so the fact that Arteta has tried it once again this game was a tactical disaster class and almost a failure, and it certainly cost Arsenal a point in my opinion. But also in terms of the 4-2-3-1, again, once again proves to be the more stable formation for Arsenal when it comes to keeping the ball and trying to impose themselves. So I'm going to throw it to you guys to answer down below in the comments. What formation do you guys want to see Mikel Arteta persist with? Is it a 4-3-3 or is it a 4-2-3-1? Arteta on the team missing Xhaka. We know the importance of Granit, what he brings to the team, the maturity, the reading of the game, and the consistency that he brings to the squad and the balance. Yes, Arsenal didn't have Granit Xhaka, but once again, Mikel Arteta excuses. Crystal Palace had no Wilfried Zaha, no Eberechi Eze. Those are two of their best players, yet they were still able to come to the Emirates Stadium and put in a very, very decent performance. And you don't see Patrick Vieira after the game saying, where's Zaha and where's Eze? For me, the good managers always prove to adapt to the players that they have available, and so far so in the career of Mikel Arteta at Arsenal, he's yet to show that he can get the best of his Arsenal players that are available unless things and circumstances are perfect. And that for me as an Arsenal fan that wants to see Arteta do well at Arsenal is so worried. But also in terms of Arsenal and a certain refereeing decision, let's not get it twisted, something went down. And as you guys can see with this post here, on one side you've got MacArthur's so-called yellow card yesterday, and on the other side you've got the red card of David Luiz from last season, a simple little minimal contact on the Wolves striker. I'm not going to say the referees have an Arsenal agenda, but ultimately for me that was as blatant as a red card as you can get. I am not going to go as far as saying the referee cost us, because ultimately the Arsenal performance was simply not good enough. But once again, these dodgy little referees putting in dodgy little performances, and for me a blatant red card avoided. Let me know your own thoughts down below in the comments on do you guys agree in saying James McArthur got lucky not to get sent off. Okay, then moving on, let's discuss the potential transfer of Luka Jovic. He is a striker playing for Real Madrid. He has been somewhat of a flop. He used to ball out at Frankfurt, but could he be potentially on his way to Arsenal? Well, according to defensacentral.com in Madrid, Mikel Arteta is very interested in signing Real Madrid striker Luka Jovic as Alexandre Lacazette's replacement. Now, Luka Jovic used to be a decent little player and could still be a decent little player, but make no mistake, this is complete and utter paper rubbish, and I do not see it happening. For me, it's quite clear that Arsenal are going to sign a centre forward come the next transfer window, and with that being common knowledge in the Arsenal fans and the Arsenal media, what we're seeing here is papers trying to take advantage of Arsenal's name and trying to link it to strikers that Arsenal simply are just not going to sign. In terms of Luka Jovic the player though, I think he is decent, but is he the guy for Arsenal? Personally, you know what? I just don't think so. But let me know your own thoughts on Luka Jovic to Arsenal, and is he a player, if offered to Arsenal, would you take? Keeping it on the centre forwards, here's Albert Sambi-Lokonga's quote on Alexandre Lacazette. He says he backed me and he backed the team. I think when he came on, we have to bring this mentality that Lacazette did. I think he brought fire when he did come on, and that's what we need to try to do every time somebody comes on. And you know what, Sambi, I could not agree any bit more. And with Lacazette on the pitch, Arsenal did have a far better central threat, and ultimately Lacazette is a player that is not afraid to make the final action. And so far so in that game, the Arsenal players on the pitch like Odegaard and Smith Rowe and Saka and Pepe had proven these guys were simply not on the level to make the final action and make things happen. In terms of the likes of Alex Lacazette and Gabriel Martinelli, both players for me showed that. And in terms of Lacazette personally, let me know your own thoughts down below on would you now give him some more minutes going into the future games. In terms of Sambi himself though, he says, I want to play the next game as quick as possible. When you play a game like this, you are hungry inside because I made a mistake. I want to play the next game as quick as possible to change everything. I respect Sambi. I think Sambi is a top potential prospect, and I have full and utter belief that this guy is going to improve and become a top central midfielder. But ultimately yesterday that mistake was very costly for Arsenal, but ultimately I expect it at 21 years of age and into a brand new league. But at the same time, I'm going to ask you guys a simple question. Albeit Elneny is nowhere near as good as a player as Sambi, but ultimately he's more experienced, safer and also more conservative. Could a potential midfield partnership of Mohamed Elneny and Thomas Partey give Arsenal better balance in midfield? Let me know if you guys will bring in Elneny over Sambi going into the next game against Aston Villa. It is just a question, no need to get feisty in the comments. Okay, then moving on to the other Arsenal news today. And let's start off with Arsenal loanee Matteo Guendouzi, who was on fire for Marseille in his last performance. And as you guys can see, Matteo Guendouzi scored 2 goals and provided an assist in Marseille's 4-1 win against his former club Lorient in Ligue 1. William Saliba also featured in this game. It was a standout performance from Matteo Guendouzi, and for himself personally, you'll love to see it. It is beautiful scenes. But in terms of his career at Arsenal Football Club as it stands, that chapter is firmly closed. And even though I've always rated Guendouzi Guendouzi as a player. In terms of his attitude issues, they still remain there. Not only at Arsenal, but even at Hertha Berlin and even so far at Marseille, there have been rumours about his attitude causing issues behind the scenes there. And the fact that Arsenal have already signed a new young central midfielder in Albert Sambi, I stand by in saying he is the overall replacement for Matteo Guendouzi. But what do you guys make of the enigma that is Matteo Guendouzi, and would you guys, if it came down to you personally, give him a chance back at Arsenal Football Club? For me personally, as I keep saying, the chapter is firmly closed. Best of luck to Ale, Matteo Guendouzi. And finally, it has been confirmed that Craig Paulsen will take charge of Arsenal versus Aston Villa, and Michael Oliver is on VAR duties. Craig Paulsen against Aston Villa. This is the same referee, by the way, in the disaster class against Wolves last season. It still gives me PTSD to this day. A game where he sent off both David Luiz and Bert Leno, and Arsenal lost 2-1. But in terms of the game that is Aston Villa, this is as must win as it gets for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta and his potential future at Arsenal Football Club. The fact that Arsenal have now gone 2 games in a row without a win. Aston Villa are a team that Arsenal did not beat or get a single point against last season. And in terms of Mikel Arteta, it's also very important that he gets the win and gets the performance and gets the tactics spot on. Because in the last 2 games against Brighton and against Crystal Palace, his tactics have been very questionable. And so with the pressure mounting, just to change the vibe, that's what a win does. If Arsenal get a win, the vibe changes and Arsenal fans can be somewhat positive again. But let me know your own thoughts on, do you think Arsenal are going to beat Aston Villa, and also your thoughts as it stands on the future of Mikel Arteta. But that is the video there and there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video. Also do subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And if you want to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was the latest Arsenal news today. I have been so inconsistent over the past few weeks, but your boy is here. He is back with the content, so enjoy, appreciation, and I will see you guys later. Keep safe and have a bit.